What's going on, everyone? Shams earlier today reported this. Lakers guard forward Matt Ryan has made the team's current opening night roster as the team won't waive him by today's roster cut deadline. Source tells The Athletic at Stadium, Ryan shot 37.5% from three-point land in preseason, including 20-point performance with 6 threes last Sunday. So Matt Ryan is the 6'7" guard that's 25 years old, so he's young, fits the timeline, all of that stuff, and was a pretty solid shooter. Now, I didn't think he would make the roster personally. Outside of that big game, he didn't really do very much. He wasn't as great of a shooter as he was. Like, that performance really inflated his, stats and stuff like that. That really helped him shoot, because outside of that, he wasn't the same guy. He had that one blow-up game, and then outside of that, there wasn't much. But my guess would be it'll be a non-guaranteed, kind of like what they did with Stanley Johnson and Wenyen Gabriel, where, hey, we'll bring you on, play you a couple games, see how it goes, and then if it's not, then you'll just waive them on a non-guaranteed. That's probably what Matt Ryan will get. And then if they need to, also they can include him in a deal, things like that. So, like, say the Lakers have a Russ deal, right? And let's just say it's the Hornets deal, right? Just using it as an example. But let's say it's the Hornets deal and it's, Kelly Oubre, Gordon Hayward, and Terry Rozier, right? Well, the Lakers don't have the roster spots to do that. Well, they would now, because now you could just you could do Russell Westbrook, you could throw in Matt Ryan's contract, which would be like, $1 million, and then also throw in, like a Wenyen Gabriel or something like that. There you go. Boom. Now you basically can take on those guys, and it's an even swap, and all is right in the world. So I think that is one way that they're looking at it. Two, hopefully if he can just be serviceable from three. Because like I said, I've said it before. I said it in a live stream. I said it in a video about Matt Ryan. We don't need him to be 6 and 9 every single game, right? That's not our thing. That's not what we're necessarily looking for. Obviously, if he can, then perfect. But in reality, we don't need him to do that. We need him when he's in the game. Just give me like 3 to 4 threes a game. You're going to get probably 6, 7 shots at the most. Can you make 3 to 4 of those shots? If you can make 3 or 4 of those shots, then you'll earn a spot in the rotation. That's how I kind of look at this whole scenario. They're going to see, like, can he consistently give us 3 or 4 threes? Now, defensively, he's not a very good defender, but he at least tries. He at least moves his feet. He at least, in some cases looks, like he could be a serviceable defender. Where like Cole Swider, he's just lost out there. Like if you watch Cole Swider try to play defense, he looks like he doesn't even know what defense is. He's like, what? I need to do what to this guy? Like, Matt Ryan, he moves his feet, I could see him fitting in with the scope of the defense, the defensive sets, stuff like that. So, I mean, if he could just be 37, 38% from three this season, then there's your Buddy Hield. There's your buddy. He's probably not going to get the volume that Buddy Hield gets, but still, if you could get 37, 38%, there's your Buddy Hield. Matt Ryan can't be worse defensively than Buddy Hield is. So there's that. You could already have your shooter lined up on this team, on this roster, and all is right in the world. But I'm curious to see if they end up keeping Matt Ryan for the long haul. Again, making the opening day roster is not the same thing as making the team entirely. So, and that's the difference here, right? Shams didn't say, Matt Ryan made got the 15 spot or the final roster spot or anything like that. He said he made the opening night roster. So that, I think, is very telling. And that's why I think it'll be a non-guaranteed deal. It'll be a little sample test run. They'll give Matt Ryan, a few minutes here and there in these next, 2 or 3 games and just kind of see, is he a liability out there, or is he somebody that can actually play and is a guy that belongs on this roster and on this league? So I think he's going to get maybe 2 or 3 game sample size, and then he might just end up getting waived. Or if they do keep him, they won't play him at all, and he'll just be an asset that they can trade. Again, not an asset like, oh, we could trade Matt Ryan for, whoever. No, not like that, but as an add-in. Again, non-guaranteed contract, we have it. You do the Hornets deal or something like that. here you go, here's a non-guarantee, the Hornets waive him, the Hornets waive Russ, all is right in the world. It doesn't cost them anything. So I think that they're looking at Matt Ryan as a low-risk, high-reward type player. It's like if this is a guy that can come in, if he can knock down 3 or 4 threes on, 40% from 3, he's a guy that's got a spot. That's just that I think Matt Ryan's going to get a ton of open looks. He's going to get a ton of just because he's got LeBron, he's got Russ, he's got Anthony Davis, he's got all these guys that are just really good at creating and drawing. Kendrick Nunn even is really good at getting to the hoop. We've seen Walker and his ability to just kind of walk to the hoop. So I think all of those guys are really going to make it easy on Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's just going to basically be a spot up, catch and shoot three-pointer. Like, that's it. You just need to catch. You get the ball, you knock it in. And I do think he has the potential. I really didn't think he was going to make the roster, but like I always said, I wouldn't be against it. Like, I wasn't going to be like, oh, like, I can't believe they did that. But Shams, the way he reported it makes me go, okay, like he didn't make the roster. They're not giving him that spot. He's still got to earn it. He's still got to prove it, but they like what they've seen so far and they want to give him a chance. That's what this is. This is a Wenyen Gabriel, Stanley Johnson type deal. What they did last year. Hey, we'll bring you on. It's a non-guaranteed deal. If you work out, you can stay on the team. If you don't, we're gonna let you go. So we'll see how this plays out, and that's what they're looking at for Matt Ryan. I just think outside of that one game where he was 6-9, I wasn't very impressed. Outside of that, I just think that he didn't show the consistency is what I wanted, and that 6-9 shooting really inflated his stats because he only played 3 games. So when one game you shoot 80% from 3, you could basically shoot 20% the rest of the way and still end up with a 37% percentage. So that's my concern there is that he had one very inflated game and then the other 2 games he didn't look the same. And I don't need him to be a 6-9 guy. But we need him to be able to knock down consistently enough threes. Last thing you want is to put him out there and he gets 7 shots and he's 0-7. He needs to be closer to 3 or 4 for 7. Because that's what I think he'll get. I think he'll get around 7, 6 to 7 shots a game. Can he knock down 3 to 4 game in and game out? Out of those 7 shots. I'm not saying he has to do it every single game because there's good nights, there's bad nights. There's going to be nights where he goes, 6 to 7 or 7 for 7. And then there's going to be nights where he goes 0 for 7 or 1 for 7. But consistently throughout an 82-game season or however many games he plays, can he consistently be in the range of 3 for 7 or 4 for 7, which would be ideal. I'd love that. But, that's 60%, which I don't think that'll happen. But again, if he could be 3 for 7, then he's in the 40% range, which he would earn a real spot. And if he knocks down if they keep him for a good sample size, and he knocks down several, let's say he does go 4 for 7, a majority of the season, I think the Lakers need to lock him down on a small cheap deal immediately. I would sign him 4 years, $10 million. Do that now, or 4 years, $15 million. It eats into next year's cap space, but at least you already got your JJ Redick-esque shooter. I'm not saying he's going to be that good or anything like that, but still very young, 25 years old, a lot of hope, a lot of promise. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think of Matty Ice getting a job on the Lakers? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Again, it's probably going to be a non-guaranteed just opening night because Shams reported opening night roster. Opening night roster is not the same thing as the regular season roster. Yes, it's a part of the regular season, but there are a lot of teams will do that. They'll give a guy a little sample size deal. Let's see what you got. But Stanley Johnson and Wenyen Gabriel, they were able to earn their spot last year. I also think that was a lot out of desperation. We just really needed some youth kind of injected into that team, so I think that really helped. This year, I don't think we're as desperate, but I think if we could find a legit shooter, why not? And worst case, he's just an add-on that you could use in a deal, because any Laker trade, which we do have the reports that Lakers are going to start ramping up trades as soon as the season starts, but any trade is very likely going to be a 2 or 3 for 1 swap. So you got to have guys like, Matty Ryan, non-guaranteed, like $1 million contract. Here you go. So you're going to take Westbrook, you're going to take that. The $1 million isn't going to make or break the deal, that kind of thing. That's probably how this is going to go down. That's probably how this is going to happen. But anyway, again, however you feel about it, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me know down in the comment section below.